All right, friends, welcome back to Prepper Now. Getting back on the horse, been populating things. Tonight, we're going to be talking about, well, all kinds of stuff. First and foremost, there's some developments going on over in Russia on the border of Belgorod. And of course, there are other things going on in the Middle East, all of these things. And inflation came in rather hot comparatively, as finally Argentina is getting their act together. So we are, yeah, we're here. We are here. And, there's a reason why Bitcoin is at $72,000. Where are we at with Bitcoin? Let's take a look at all this. You're starting to see the first clips of major financial ruin whisper to us. And what people have to understand is that, it's not a movie. Things happen in real time and slower than you would expect. We're not trying to fit things in a 90-minute to 2-hour time frame. So Bitcoin is currently at 71,406. Trump came out today and said basically that Bitcoin is here and it's going to stay. So it is what it is. Personally, I like Bitcoin. I don't own any Bitcoin. Bring in the the sovereignty of two human beings and trying to transact between them without anybody in between. And so, it's a beautiful concept. The problem is, of course, is that the state will come in and the state will do what the state does. So, um, gold, of course, is at 2,150. And I've been looking at that. That's an interesting one. But today, Sweden came out there for their government came out and said everybody needs to become a prepper. I thought that was a cool one. Basically, they said that they recommend a food supply of at least 3 months. Now, I got to say that's impressive on its own. 3 months was kind of like I consider base level prepper. All right, 3 months is if you have 3 months, you can consider yourself a prepper, and you're good enough to get through the very beginnings of things. And 3 months is just enough time, especially if you have people and land and equipment and other things that are going for you, that you can kind of figure it out. So yeah, they're expecting a stock up on canned foods in case there's a war with Russia. Okay, so government recommends that Sweden residents have a supply of food and medicine for at least 3 months. By the end of the year, Swedes will receive instructions on how to behave in the face of negative developments. So, what do you do in negative developments? You get prepped. You have things on you, on your person. You have food. Personally, I think 6 months to a year is kind of where you should be. That's the other thing, though. I think people get so judgmental when it comes to prepping, and they're like, "Oh, well, you got to have this," or "Oh, you don't have that," or whatever. Folks, if you have anything, you're ahead of the game. Seriously. Don't be judgmental, and if you're like listening to people that are kind of looking down on you or down their nose because you don't have what they have or whatever, or some kind of a snide remark. I've gotten comments here and stuff on both sides of things. Don't worry about all that. That is not stupid, or that's just kind of dumb. So, well, no wonder pinball's on right now. I didn't know pinball. I'm like, wow, I'm only getting 50 people. Oh well, that doesn't matter. Pinball's good, dude. Let pinball. So, yeah, it is what it is. You got to have food stocked up. So, but yeah, I think we're kind of on the beginnings of financial ruin. It's going to come in creeping slowly. Uh, the inflation thing today was a problem. Okay, it came in at, I think, 3.2% or 0.4% above. Now that sounds, when they do the numbers, they're like, oh, it came in 0.4, like they're not, no big deal, right? Well, it is a little bit of a big deal. It actually, that's over the month, so that means it's kind of going a little bit speedier than trying to find the article here on the inflation thing. But I mean, that's we've all talked about it. We've talked about how crazy prices are getting. My wife is out currently at the store going and getting like soaps and stuff. It's that time. We got to get all we're pretty good at making sure things happen at the same time. And so she's getting like soap and shampoo and dish soap and yada yada yada. By the way, for those that were listening about the dog and the skunk thing yesterday, I got a homemade recipe. I'm going to tell you right now, it worked. It is 4 cups of hydrogen peroxide. It is 1 teaspoon of Dawn soap. And it is 4 teaspoons of baking soda. And you put it in and you get it into preferably a kind of bottle that will spray with like a bit of a stream. But you mix it up. You can't get into its eyes because the dog will be in pain. So don't do that. But you take it and you lightly apply and kind of rub it in the affected areas. I got to tell you, it worked. It wasn't 100%, but from where the dog was and where the dog is now, it was really, really impressive as a homemade remedy. So 4 hydrogen peroxide, 1 teaspoon, 1 teaspoon Dawn soap, 4 teaspoons of baking soda, and so there's a little bit of a remedy right there. It actually works pretty good. So yeah. If you want to see without rule of law, let's look at Haiti. Haiti is a mess, and now they're worried because they think that these people are going to be floating their boats from Hispaniola, which of course is the larger island, up to Florida, and coming a new entry. Everybody relax. Polar Patriot is here. Thank the Lord. I was worried. Gene W, good to see you. Yeah, so that's been an interesting one. Saying, what's going to happen to these people coming over. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole diatribe about this, that, or the other about people coming over. I do worry about sleeper cells. I'm going to be honest with you, but this adds a new element. Because first and foremost, I mean, I think I was putting the crisis report together, and the prime minister of Haiti, the new guy, not Mr. Barbecue, the other guy, he basically quit tonight and fled the country, and so Haiti is Mr. Barbecue's country for the taking. Now, who is Mr. Barbecue, you ask? Well, the guy's middle name, I don't know his full name. I think it's Jimmy BBQ something, right? He's not one of the side chefs of Guy Fieri. He evidently has a penchant for oh god, immolating his victims. Look that word up for you. Immolation. So yeah, he's got a real penchant for that. So his name is Barbecue. Oh man, this is 2024, folks. Do you, I want you to encompass this for a moment. I've been taking my students back through the 80s, and we're doing one group's doing a 50s unit. One of my students hey, what's some great music that you guys used to listen to? And I'm taking them through it. Showed her the outfield song, Josie's on a Vacation Far Away, that one and all that. And you think about that time, you think about the 1980s, and then you see Jimmy the BBQ is now running Haiti. You think about that as a big thing. It's really kind of frightening where we've gone to. So Good news is it looks like that Trump and Biden have both wrapped up their delegates. So now they can go fight amongst themselves as to who will be the who'll be the ruler of the wasteland of America once the cells start to activate and the boats from Haiti get flowing over here. So, you know, so someone said on X, we shouldn't call them, illegals or whatever. We should call them undocumented carnivores. Oh my gosh, I had to stop the car on that one. Undocumented carnivores. Okay, I like it. Yeah, undocumented carnivores. That's 2024, friends. Um, undocumented carnivores. So maybe that's what we'll call this live stream. But I mean, seriously, when you've got Sweden talking about, the populace needing to go in and get their act together with cans of food for 3 months because there's a potential for a raid on, by Russia. By the way, some people have been calling what happened today in the border with Russia and Belgorod a coup. Um, the most loosest of terms of coup could be used, but honestly, it was a bit of an incursion, and then they got kicked out pretty much immediately. So they're chucking some American weapon system that you and I paid for over, but it was pretty immediate that they got done. So if you're like floating around and you're hearing that there was a coup in Russia today, not exactly what happened. So not to say, yeah, it is. People want to get the eyes and clicks and all that, and I get it. So I've been known to put a clickbait thing out there too, but yeah, it was not what that was. It's not really a coup, more of a really quick mini invasion that got halted immediately. So anyway, to clear that up. Yeah, 44 thumbs up. Thank you, Savagely. Yeah, if you haven't hit the like button, go on and do it. I was slipping through with all this through the jank streams, but Borg and his minions found out and they clamped that down. So I can't. Yeah, those days of those live streams, even though I've got almost 30,000 subscribers, the days of the live streams where I get like 1,000 views are gone. So so not that everything over here is mechanized. By the way, Prepper Dog was saying in the back, he's one of my. I love Prepper Dog. I like him. He was saying his videos were having a problem, kind of loading up as well. But yeah, I'm all over the place. Anyway, Sweden's stocking cans. Haiti's got Jimmy the BBQ in charge. Russia supposedly had a coup, not coup. The ministers in Israel are fighting with each other because half the government wants to invade another country to go after Hezbollah. That's another thing we'll be covering tonight on the crisis report. It's just it's all over the place. And, I mean, I want to feel crazy. I want to be like, oh, this is normal. And I've got friends in the background that are sitting there talking about like free agency and NFL. And you know, uh, that's great. I think it's wonderful that you're worried about your team and all that. But Jimmy the BBQ runs Haiti, so I don't know. I guess that's the scariest part of all this is the amount of oblivious people that are out there. And I don't want to be Mr. Doom and Gloom. I'm a dad. My life is pretty much a-okay, all things considered. I'm lucky on many different fronts. I've created that luck, by doing the right thing. But you see all this stuff going on, and you're just like, am I insane? Like, is it just me? But uh, gosh, I guess so. I don't know. But then I come here and I talk to you guys, and I feel a little bit better about that. By the way, Gene W just put up my website. I don't know what to do with my website. I'm about to re-up it, and I've kept it as a way to get things out there should everything fall apart. But I think I've got enough of a diversification in all my things now that um, the website can be used for other things. So I don't know. I used to put blog posts up on all the kinds of stuff, and then I just basically took that over to the subscription services and things. So I mean, I could make the website pay for play and do it all from there, but I don't want to do that. So I don't know. If you guys have any ideas, put it in the comments. Not the chat, but the comments for the website of what I could do there. That's another thing I want to do. I want to start to kind of come and talk to you all and get more engagement with you and uh, more one-on-one time. So where the this calendar is starting to open up a little bit, and that's a good thing. You know, I'm starting to get a little more time and freedom. My daughter's sports ball is now over, and so I will be coaching here, but it's like one night a week, so no big deal. But coach prepper now. I need you to stack those cans over there, first in, first out. Let's go. Oh man. Anyway, uh, so yeah, Haiti's crumbling, Sweden's crumbling, or Sweden's in NATO now, and you know, uh, yeah. So trying to find the inflation thing. Let me just go to mainstream normie news. I'm on my websites that have got the non-normie, and I'm not finding it. So I guess inflation is. Let's go see what officialdom has said. Let's go to inflation. Let's go to news. I'm sure it'll be buried. Um, let's see. Let's go to a nice one. Let's go to CNN. Good old CNN. Prices tick higher in February, but there's good news at the grocery store. There we go, folks. Got to light the candle of hope. Higher prices at the gas pump pushed inflation more than expected, according to the latest consumer price index. However, inflation did slow the other key areas like food and housing, fueling a touch of positive news for the Federal Reserve and consumers alike. Overall, closely watched inflation gauge showed that prices rose by a minor 3.2% for 12 months ending in February, BLS said Thursday. That's up slightly from January's annual reading of 3.1%, higher than economists' expectations. Go, be blissful, be asleep. You know, I mean, is it just me? Like, am I a negative Nilly? Seriously, like when you go to the store, my wife and I are really trying to do it. We're doing the $100, and I'm on we're what, day 12, and we're good for about 8 to 10 days. And I got $125 left, and I'm trying, and it is so tough. You know, we're not like I want to buy organic. We try to buy organic for our kids, and stuff. And you know, I don't know if you ever heard of the Dirty Dozen, the foods that you should buy organic for, the stuff like strawberries, apples. These are the things that get sprayed with pesticides and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, it is what it is. It's tough right now. We're going through all of our budget and everything else. You know, we're doing everything. We've our renovation is a week away from being done. The office and the bedroom is created. We have kept it at as close to a number as possible. And here on the other side, we're going to figure out how much it's going to be. And I'm sitting there and I'm worried about it. I'm like, well, gosh, was this the right move? You know, from a real estate perspective, going from a 3 bedroom to a 4 bedroom or 3 bedroom with an extra room, whatever you want to call it, is a smart move. The other thing is seeing all the stuff going on with our money system. I don't think loaning is going to be around in 6 months. I think banks are going to be so broke they're not going to be able to loan. And the other thing is putting investment into a physical item. If you think about it, is about as good of an idea as you can do right now with your money. Um, you know, we had to borrow some money, but still, it's all we're paying off our shed early, and then we're transferring all this to the new room. 2 years ago, we got a shed and fencing and took out some money from that. We accelerate pay everything. We all try to put it all on 4 years. We try to pay it off in 2. It's always been the plan, and it's worked well. But you see all this stuff out there, and I was laying down the numbers for my wife because I'm good at forward thinking and seeing where we're going to be in 3 weeks when the dust is settled. We've mopped up the rooms in there, and the kids, sleeping in his bed tightly at night. My wife's computer system for her job is set up and ready in the other end of the room. You know, I'm good at seeing like where the numbers are going to be, and they're okay. But at the same time, things are so nasty and terrible, especially right now from employment. My wife, I don't think has a problem. I shouldn't have a problem. But then again, you never know. That's why I like having this side hustle of PrepperNow. I like coming here and first of all, because you guys make me feel like I'm not that crazy. But also, puts a little bit of coin in here. They've done some things to try to mess with that, but whatever. I don't know. I try not to be reliant on one too many things, but tough living in a normie world and a prepper world. Conserve friends. Absolutely correct, man. It is tough. It's tough to do both because like you're bifurcated. You see all the crazy things that could happen and you want to prepare for them accordingly. But then you've got, like my wife is generally a normie, so she's like, oh, don't worry about it or whatever. And she says I've gotten much better now that Rona is not around, but still, you've got to manage all that. You want to make sure that she um is happy first and foremost. A normie can't live with a prepper if the prepper's crazy. No, like crazy, I mean not crazy like they're crazy, like they see all the stuff coming and it makes them kind of go nuts. They want to prep and do everything. That's never gonna work. So the prepper minimalist combo is a big one though. I found that out. My wife is a minimalist. I'm, the prepper, so we're putting everything together. That's good because that's kind of an organizational thing. And she's super organized. But anyway, yeah, yeah. The normie normies are tough to get along with because you just want to shake them sometimes and say, "Don't you see? Jimmy the BBQ is running Haiti, honey." Come on, man. We gotta put some canned food away. Oh man, we're almost done. We've got 2 shelves left of the food from the prepping of the crazy prepper pull of 2020 when Rona 2020 summer into 2021. I went nuts and I bought a crap load of food, cans and stuff, and so we're going through it. But my kids love the fruit cocktail, so we make smoothies out of it. They love it. Get a little of that sugar in there, and bada bing, bada boom. They're ready to go outside and play some sports ball. I don't know, folks. Where are we going? I saw Washburn Billy. Good to see you, my friend. Put in there. Do you think there's going to be an election? Tonight you've had Biden and you've got Trump both crossing the line of the delegates needed. Trump got 1,200 and change. I don't know what the numbers are for the incumbent in the Democrat Party, but I'm sure they're pretty similar. So we're getting ready for a head-to-head between both, and it's going to be interesting. I don't know. Is there going to be an election? I do think so, but I think it's going to be fraught with all kinds of crazy and issues. I do. And because of that, it'll be questioned. And I think what's going to happen is because of that questioning, you're going to have an interregnum, as they say. It's Latin for a time between two kings. And I can see that happening. I can see both parties, you know, they've said that what's going to happen is there's going to be no clear, distinct winner. There's going to be a lot of crazy stuff to go down, and it's going to go to the courts, and the courts are going to decide your next president. And if you think for 1 second that's going to be DJT, I think you've are not understanding just how embedded the system is. So that's what I think is going to happen. To answer Washburn Billy, Smokey Blazer correct. Both sides are polarized, marginalized, pushed to the things. I was talking with some cohorts about that, you know, because I mean, really, I mean, I'm nothing crazy about me. I'm a constitutionalist. I think if you do the Constitution and everything's on the up and up, and you know, if you don't get it this time, because I'm a product of sports. If you don't win this time, I was telling my daughter this weekend because they had a great Saturday, and they got housed on Sunday because they weren't ready to play. And I said, you know what? You look at this and you figure out why you lost, and you go out there and you eradicate any chance of that ever happening again. And the next time you see those people on the court on the other side, you stun them. You come back so hard and so strong, they don't know what to do. You know, that's the way I was brought up. And I just I don't know. I personally don't think that the system wants to give up control and power, whatever that looks like. I don't know. I think that's part of the problem. I think another part of the problem is a lot of those people have never lost before. You know, they're just kind of there, and they're part of this permanent state. I think it's what Tucker Carlson called it or whatever, where these people are just always there. They're just it is what it is, and they're not used to being removed. They're not used to giving up power. They're not used to ceding their place, and they're used to basically being in control. And because of that, well, someone challenges that, they tend to do like any animal that sees things as existential. And I think in the ultimate scheme of things, the people in the permanent state are going to see some things coming that is existential. I mean, let's say DJT wins. Okay, let's say he gets in there and wins. That's totally possible. Do you really think, I mean, they're going to sit back, and they're already doing this, they're already making it, demonizing the GOP as if it's, you know, Adolf 1939, and he's given a speech in front of the Reichstag. I mean, that's what they would have you think is the GOP. And then all these things are just, DJT is going to basically be Tiny Mustache Man, and he's going to get him over the goal line for it. So, what's that going to look like? Because they're going to try and make a whole bunch of people believe that things need to be stopped for any means possible. Because if you don't stop them, then well, it's going to resemble, Germany 1930s or something like that. That's what I think. So, and I don't want a dictator of any sort. I've not been fully on board with DJT. There's things about him that I like. There's things about him that I don't like. There's people that come here know that I think the problems are so large that one person isn't going to do it, and I could be wrong, and I hope I am, and I hope that people get into a position of power, and they just start doing kind of what Javier Milei is doing in Argentina, and what I don't know about. I like Bukele of El Salvador. I like what he's done, but he went a little too autocrat, I think. You got to keep it within reason. But Javier Milei is almost got the inflation in Argentina down to a point where next month they're expecting single digits, which hasn't been seen in decades. So you know, all I can say is, Katie bar the door. We're getting into some interesting times. We're getting into times that are going to be memorable and crazy. And if you have, if you're smart, you're prepping. You're getting ready for all this. That should be your motivation right there. I mean, that's my motivation. My motivation right now is to fortify the family as financially as possible. So we've taken on debt, but we're also paying off debt. We're putting things into physical items. We're getting rid of all of our preps that were old from a few years ago, and we're going in and we're gonna, hopefully, but if things don't get too cheeky on the inflation chip, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna start to go crazy on re-upping and restocking. The other thing is, well, yeah, that's basically it, I guess. Polar Patriot is correct. He is against guns. So he's a Democrat, but he's an old school Democrat. So I was an old school Democrat. I was 2006 and all that. I was young, dumb, and full of you know what. And I thought that you tell people to do something and they'll listen and they'll do it. You wave your hand and you say, stop being violent, and it happens. It's not the way it works. Crime is crime. So, but yeah, I don't know. We're in interesting times. Excellent question by Mr. Washburn Billy to take us out. Um, Inflation is not going to go down. Our finances are not going to get better as a country. And you know what? You are the first responder. You're going to have to be the ones. You're going to have to be the ones to do whatever it is that can handle and manage all this that's coming at us. And there is a storm coming. So we don't want to be run by Jimmy the BBQ here in America, right? Even if that means we balkanize and become smaller states in the long run. But we hope to be constitutional republics where we send people that are trying to do their best to represent their constituents and live, morally and godly and do what's right for whatever state that it turns out to be. So, all right, I think I'm going to cut it off right there. I was planning on only doing a half hour. Hopefully, you like this format. I'm going to start to do it this way. It's just easier. Get some ideas. Come on, start chit chatting. Get my usual folks. You guys ask questions, and we'll roll through it and do it. But I really appreciate you being here. If you haven't hit the like button, please do it real quick. Go on over and visit Pinball. Hit his too, and be good to each other, and be good to the prepper community. Represent us well. And yeah, we'll be doing this again tomorrow night, roughly the same time. And Crisis Report will be out here in about an hour and a half after I record it. And I really appreciate your support, folks. Check out the links in the description if you're looking for other ways. You like what we're doing here on here and the Crisis Report, of course, my sister channel, which is youtube.com @Crisis Report. So you can go on over there, and the most comprehensive news on YouTube, where we just basically fire off about 30 to 40 minutes of all the crazy military crap and some other things going on. So, all right, friends, God bless you all. Stack, stick to the plan. Keep your head in the swivel and your powder dry. And I appreciate you coming by. PrepperNow, a little live stream. I think we'll call it Jimmy the BBQ. God bless.